Yo, 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 it's Misha Dex. And
Your boy, Keymon.
let's
Why'd
see
you
your
say that
shirt.
all like? Why you say that all like soft? Like you don't want somebody to
I'm in
hear
my
you.
soft girl era.
Shit, this is what happens when you have a crush.
See? See? And you wonder,
No,
you be
no,
like, why you don't never tell me nothing?
no. I was just
Exhibit
joking.
A. Exhibit A. Exhibit A. See?
You didn't have to respond to it.
You didn't
But
have to
why?
say
No.
it. You didn't have to say it. That's crazy.
All right. How are you?
That's okay. You have three daughters that I'm going to have the pleasure of embarrassing throughout their dating life. And
uh,
I'm going to explain to them after they cry the first time. It's not
what happened?
personal.
It's
This is the
payback.
sins of your father. Matter of fact,
Man.
I'm going to name this episode "The Sins of Our Father."
Nah, man, I'm ready. I'm ready to see my people thrive in areas that
I mean, we
area
didn't have this
area
conversation a million times.
areas. Yeah, I mean, but not even speaking about just on that stand, but just shit, everything that we set out to achieve.
No, that's for real. I'm waiting on a phone call. Actually, well, in 2 weeks, I'm supposed to be getting a call about some really dope stuff that I mean, again, I don't like talking about stuff until it's on paper. But this is something that was already approved to possibly be
Mm,
a paid board member for some stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Next week I'm doing the play. Um,
mm.
I went last week for my first rehearsal, and when I tell you it was so fun working with
Or was it?
elementary to high school age kids, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a Black History play, and they have this one segment that is going to be dedicated to Jackie Robinson, and it's like seven or eight little boys, and I kept calling them little Jackies. I was like, "Come on, little Jackie, like we gonna get this dance stuff down." But no, I feel like I definitely feel like I be in my element when I'm working with young people of all ages.
Mm.
And one of the moms at the rehearsal was just like, dang, she came right in and didn't have a problem telling nobody what to do. I said, girl, this is called auntie energy.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
like
Seriously. If you've been
I
through it, you know what it is.
right. That's
You've
why
been
I
through it,
support
yeah.
me. That's why I
Yeah.
let her play.
Nah, that's dope.
Can
That's
I
dope.
talk about her
Uh,
for a minute? She is so funny. So I went on a hike Saturday, and when I got to the top, I was on FaceTime with her, and she was looking. She said, "What's she doing?" I said, "I'm on a hike, baby." She said, "What's she doing?" And then I was like, just smile so I could take a picture. She like, and then when she see me like smiling back, she said,
yeah, that
I
girl,
said
she's
either she's inquisitive or she nosy as hell like her daddy. But either way it
yeah.
goes.
Either way it is. I love both. I love both because
Right.
nosy means and shit. You know what the fuck is going on.
Hey, when she asked me and Liska what was funny one day after laughing at her, I said, "What 2-year-old says that? Like, who says what's funny? What's funny?"
Yeah, no, that girl
So we
is
know
dope. But
what lane she gonna be in her career.
yeah,
She gonna be a lawyer for sure.
I don't know. I'm thinking entertainment because the way she's picking up that mic today, Liska got her bear for Valentine's Day that sings.
Oh,
Um, what is he? I forgot the name of this. Oh, sugar pie, honey.
honey
Yeah,
bunch. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
uh-huh.
And so she like
So
with the
that means I gotta come
microphone.
over and get them dance steps down with her.
Oh man, something needs to happen. But Liska has a video I think of her doing it. But nah, it's dope to see it, and you know,
Well, I appreciate y'all letting me hold space with her because like that's my superpower, the babies. Like just
no, for
the
sure.
because she's a mess. We didn't came a long way in her short 2 years of life. I feel like I've been trying to win her heart for a decade.
Yeah, no, for sure. But
So
speaking of
Hmm.
just connecting with kiddos. I volunteered my time to start my mentorship program. So it's actually going to start this week. So I have about eight kids, 8 to 12. Um,
Is this through your school you work at, or
I don't work at a school. I left the school a long time ago.
my bad? Like, is it so? Where's the mentorship coming
No,
from?
it actually comes from um, a small group of kids that I was coaching. So
Got
I
it.
just decided to turn it over into a mentorship program. But um, but I'm super excited because when you talk about just jumping into like the environment, the space, and
Hmm.
just um, directing and putting your input because most people they reserve, they hold back when they're in that space because they don't want to offend the parent, they don't like,
Right.
especially when you have parents around. But um but I think it's dope that I have a few folks who are few of the kids who are excited about it. And I talked to a parent like last week, and she was like, well, he doesn't, this kid doesn't talk that much, but he mentioned it to his dad, and he's just super excited about it. And I'm like, okay, but I would never get that from
Hmm.
him. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just excited. I'm excited. It's called calling it Mind Shift Academy.
And so, what
And
is it? A weekend thing or a weekday?
no. So it's gonna be 6 weeks, once a week, 6 weeks,
Okay.
and the goal is to try to have a big, like, like I guess graduation ceremony, but because I mean, we talk about like our tribe and the community that we
Hmm.
know, the community that we support, and just being attached to a few folks that already verbally said they're willing to, host a tour at animation studios and at Snapchat, like so
Hmm.
these are all things that they're involved
Into.
in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
right, like just imagine being a kid and you use Snapchat all day to go to the studio and see how everything is ran.
Right. No, for sure. I think
Like,
that's the power of visibility. I was just telling so so on Thursdays I've been having a black movie night with Daisy and one of our other friends,
ah, shit.
right?
Okay,
And
how's that
so
going?
it's good because now Daisy understands some of the like the little quotes I say from movies.
Mm.
So I had her look at Harlem Nights, and now she understand when I be like, my wife need clothes, my kids need shoes, and you need some teeth. You snag a tooth, mother, right? Are you gonna shoot me quick? There it is. There it is. Shoot me with a pinky toe. It's bridging that gap. But the thing is that Tommy from Martin
Mhm.
is in Harlem Nights, right? And he
Mhm.
plays a character named Tommy. It's funny because his name is Tommy on everything, and his real name is Tommy. But I was telling her, long story short, I had went to a play, a Black History play, when I was a kid, and I had access to backstage to meet all the stars that were in the play.
Mhm.
And I distinctively walked up to him, and I don't know why I used to do this as a kid, but I used to ask people to be my goddad. And
Thirsty
so,
ass.
right, like, what is wrong with you, girl? And so I remember asking
Thirsty.
Tommy to be my goddad, right? And he said, yeah. And so all through like elementary, I used to tell everybody, like, especially when Martin came on, like, that's my goddad. But
Yeah.
so when you said, like, when you allow them to be a part of something they've seen and they think it's unreachable, and mine was just a character, by the way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It did something. There was a spark, and so you just never know what memory will come. And I was going to ask you when you first talked about becoming a mentor, like, what do you want your young people that you're going to be mentoring? What experience do you want them to walk away from that's like priceless?
Oh,
Like they got
one.
skills.
One. I think. the biggest thing is that someone cares,
Mm,
right? I think we don't know what goes on in behind doors with them, and
yeah,
we don't know the struggles. We don't know um, just the ins and out of their day to day life.
yeah, because
So
everybody
that's
origin story looks different, so I get that.
exactly, and so that's one, and then two, based on what I'm prepared to share, understanding that just because I'm older than you doesn't mean I got it together,
Yeah.
or I
So
slip up. I slip up as well.
yeah, like removing ageism, like that's the biggest thing.
Exactly.
I actually call it out. Like I don't even talk around it. I
Hmm.
call it out when I work with young people. Like
Hmm.
ageism is not in existence. Like we are both going to be students and teachers during this
Yeah.
process. Because I used to run a mentoring program in
Yeah.
LA. So that's why I wanted to know. Because I always tell them the only thing I want you to take from this is that whatever made you feel good, pass it
Mm.
on so somebody else can experience it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
whether it was a compliment, whether it was genuinely asking about your day, take that because that will go a long way and you'll start a ripple effect of positivity. And I feel like in these times, there's low dosages of it. You just
Hmm.
really got to go find it. And now, like, we didn't have social media. So we didn't
Yeah.
have instant entertainment, right? We talked about that a couple of weeks ago or last week about when you had a TV show, you had to watch it at the time. So that's why time
Hmm.
management is different for us compared to this generation. But
Yeah.
like being able uh to have access to positivity right now is such a big thing, and I
Mm.
know you will say it too. We're all flawed humans, but it's something special about being able to make a young person day, and that impacts
Exactly.
their life forever.
Ex- Exactly. Because I just it just goes back to
I love how the
me
camera
growing
is
up.
zooming in on your face when you say
It
it. So
just goes
godly.
back to hey, um, it just goes back to, or it takes me back to my childhood, and I remember those middle school days of like eighth grade, like sixth, seventh, eighth grade, and man, I swear, like it was legit. My basketball coach during that time, Chuck
Mm.
Moore, the van, blue van. He used to, and I think I mentioned this before, but he he invested his time. And obviously back then versus now, there's so much
Red
in
flag.
terms of
I mean, not flag.
red
Tape.
tape,
Tape. That's what I
tape,
meant. Yes, red tape. Yes.
exactly right. And so just understanding how important or um, how much I needed that during that moment to keep me on a path that didn't result to other things,
Yeah,
right?
because we've been balance beaming. We've been trying to balance beam our whole life because of the cards we were dealt. Like
Mhm.
your upbringing and compared to what you're exposed to now, no one would ever know that you grew up like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
balance beam. So I get that. That's and I'm happy that you got that experience because a lot of people in our situations growing up didn't get that. And to feel the desire, not obligation, but the desire to give what you said, Coach Cook,
Chuck.
Chuck, sorry, it started with a
Yeah.
C, ended with a K. No, but I'm happy that he was able to have share space with you, right? And that he was in his mind wasn't in adulthood and everything he got going on. He was
Mm.
able to invest that in you and look at you. Like, I mean, I can't stand you, but I'm sure somebody's going to benefit from.
That's fine. Here you go. Yeah. But no, yeah, definitely. In knowing that, still having connections or ties to those who was part of that whole, hey, pick you up on the weekends, and Magic Johnson theaters at the movies, and just like those little things, and it was just like damn, like that was really it. So now when you see people post like these playbacks of these these prominent, like iconic spots that we attended as like middle
Kids.
schoolers, like it's
Hmm.
like, oh shit. Like, because I know for me, like obviously I went to Magic Johnson on my own without him sometimes, but for me it was hopping on the blue line going straight to the Pike, where they
Mm.
had the movie theater, had the little
Yeah.
shoe store that you got some kicks or whatever the case may be. But that was, I knew $3 up and back, I was good.
Right. Because he exposed you to that. So let me challenge you. If you can look in the camera right now and share a word with Coach Chuck, what would you actually say in this moment to him?
Mm. Say a word, phrase.
Or anything from the heart.
You, you saved a lot of kids. I think that's, and we lost some close ones as we got older. That was part of that circle, but I think the majority of it is that his job was done.
Mm.
Like he did what he was supposed to do. And you talk about purpose, and I don't think he had, like, I think Chuck had to be in his 50s,
Oh wow.
possibly. So I know he wasn't making that much money, or at least I didn't know, right?
Right. But I mean,
But
it's a job of the heart. Like
yeah,
regardless, yeah.
exactly. So yeah, just little things like that.
Because I feel like for me, I've had several Coach Chucks in my life, right, in different
Hmm.
phases. And some have passed on. But the one that continues to show up for me is Lasagna. I
Hmm.
call her my mentor mom or other mom. It started off with her being a social worker, picking me up for teen club,
Hmm.
you know, and now she's in my life. Like literally, like
Yeah.
I went on a hike for Valentine's Day, and she's all about her fitness. And so for Valentine's Day, I sent her my activity and I
Hmm.
said my workout activity, and I said from my heart to yours, right?
Hmm.
And it's like somebody else would be like, I don't care about no damn workout
Yeah, yeah,
activity,
yeah,
but for her, that's her love language, right? You know,
yeah.
being healthy and stuff. But if I had to shout out anything to her, I would just
Mm.
tell her, thank her for doing what she didn't have to,
Yeah.
because what she didn't have to turned into what matters the most to me,
Yeah.
right? And regardless to being paid or not paid, it
Mm.
the payoff is I can say that she made a difference in my life, and I think that that's something that I want to get better at if I haven't already. Is always expressing my love and appreciation for all the
Mm.
people who laid their coat down so I didn't get wet when I
Yeah.
walked across the
Yeah.
hard times, the wet floors in life. Um, but I'm happy for you to do this mentorship. I know you asked me if I ever thought about doing it. And I think with the work that I do in general and just continuing to uplift people, it's in that direction.
Mm.
With it, and then the thing about the opportunity that I was telling you about, as far as the board member, it's an actual alternative career mentorship. So
Mm.
because me being ordained and the things that I do in my business is it shows them and it showcases another way of not just revenue but passion.
Yeah. 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 No, for sure. I think I think it's like if we can sit back and just reflect on you know the day-to-day interactions we have with folks.
Yeah,
Mentorship would be on there. um, Leader, connector, um, all those things are simultaneously gifted to us.
yeah,
And I don't know how it came from I don't know how it came about. I don't know if me being in foster care, um, pursuing my degree in social work or sociology, if that just something like I only knew
Hmm.
because yeah, obviously I had a social worker. I know how much she helped me out with,
Right.
the little things and the support I got after high school. So I don't because well, money wise, you'd be like, you ain't making nothing doing this, right? Like that's why I keep telling these niggas coming at me for my student loans. I'm like, nigga, you know, 900. But anywho, that's a whole nother story. But
Yes.
um, but I never seeked out anything else.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like when I hear most kids or most folks like, hey, I started at a JC because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if there was, for me, if that was a case of I don't know what I want to do or this is all I know.
So pause because this is a real life like crossroad, right?
Hmm.
Because again, if we go off of doing things based on our exposure, then it kind of defines where you'll end up, right?
Hmm.
So like you're saying, like you don't know if this would be the road you would have taken if you wasn't exposed to it. I think it's a yes and a no because um also as you experience just different things in general in life, like you started seeing where your heart would shift to, right? Like
Yeah.
so helping people, I think, was always going to be in your cards based on just who you are. But then
Hmm.
as you experience life and even like the circle you're in, like the circle you're in is a very community based type group. Like everybody
Yeah.
you hang with. So either way it go, I think you would have hit this road. I just don't know how long it would have taken
Hmm.
because you
Yeah.
surround yourself with a lot of givers. Like even
Yeah.
when we talk about some of the things that your friends offer, and not even like monetary, but just
Yeah.
offer for young people or just what they do as far as their careers and stuff. Like your friend that does the animation, your other friend who you said donate clothes to when you
Hmm.
were the teacher, back in the day.
Hmm.
So like all those things lead back to
Yeah.
being surrounded by a bunch of givers and it just kind of plays itself out that way. I know like there's things about me early on that before I can remember trauma, it was always about people. Even
Yeah.
kids my age, I was always helping my peers. So it doesn't surprise me that I end up working with young people when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was always in my storyline because my mom was over the child care part of what's called the nursery at the church. And
Hmm.
so we used to on Saturday go, it was used to be called Pace before it was Sam's Club. And we would go get all the sandwich, the fruit, the snack packs, and all this crap.
Hmm.
And we would provide the lunch and stuff at the nursery at church. But my thing was, I was always exposed to leadership because of her, because she took over the nursery at the church. Then she would host vacation Bible study at our house. And we was poor. And so when it came down to her telling us that she was doing vacation Bible study and we've been to other people's house and they have food, I'm like, well, what they gonna eat? And I kid you not, like she would get white crackers, those saltines,
Hmm.
put slices of cheese on them, put them in the oven, and people was tearing that up. And then she would
Yeah.
have a big thing of Kool-Aid and cut up some fruit. And the
Yeah.
kids that came to our vacation Bible school at our house loved it. And then she started baking cookies, and it was a wrap after that. But my exposure started young with community giving and also reciprocity of the give and take of energy. So I can see how this was gonna always come
Be on
back to
card.
me.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. And I agree because I feel like when I left, they what they call it, like the nonprofits and the school, and to chase quote unquote money. I always found myself. coming back, right? Because I feel like, and that's when my whole mindset changed from no more chasing to attracting.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I'm attract, like because, and that's what I tell folks is just like when you find yourself chasing, you end up in a world of shit that you might not want to
Yeah.
be in.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that do not like what they do, and that energy is transformed into their home. Remember,
Mm,
I told you at the beginning of the year, I attended a class called, I mean, a seminar called the Why Project, and it
mm,
was talking about the left and the right side of the brain, and
mm,
how the left side is where a lot of people are. They're not enjoying their jobs, they're not enjoying their careers, but it makes good money, or it's putting food on the table.
yeah,
Then you have the creative side, which is the right side, and people like, hey, I ain't making a lot, but I feel good.
yeah, yeah,
Or I am making a lot, but I'm making a lot doing what I love, and it
mm,
transfers differently in your home. And like, not to kind of segue into this, but it's also like what you do outside really impacts how it shows up in your home, in your relationships with your friends. Like
yeah,
all those things matter. So I'm hoping too that even with this mentoring program, it humbles you in a sense, like because
mm,
we all need some humble moments. Like I
yeah,
don't think there's one person in the world that can't use a humble moment here and there,
yeah,
right? Because I think about some of the young people and some of the circumstances that I've seen some people in. Like I got a call at 1 in the morning Saturday from an old member from my old job, and I
mm,
was asleep. But the next morning at 7 a.m., I texted them right away and I said, "Hey, are you okay?" And
mm,
she said, I found somebody to help me, right? And I said,
mm,
oh, I'm happy to hear that. But let me know if you ever need a ear or a shoulder. And she
mm,
said, I appreciate that. And I said I was going to text them back this week. But for me, what was humbling about that is I was in my head about something else going on in my life. And then this
mm,
person knew I'm going to call Miss Misha.
mm, mm,
And even though I wasn't of assistance, it still humbled me. It humbled me
yeah,
because they weren't too afraid to call at 1 in the morning. Because I think on my heart, if something would have happened to them and I wasn't available, that would have been different.
mm, yeah,
Or they didn't choose to reach out.
mm,
So these humble moments will continue to also help remind us of keep us aligned. I'll say it that way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Alignment. That's the name of the game. Alignment, alignment,
And not a
and
lie.
yeah, yeah. Well, when you think of alignment, right? Like it almost seems like everything needs to be perfect or it needs to go in a straight line. Alignment just means you're in tune with your morals, you in tune with what matters most to you, and also that if you get off
Right.
the tracks or whatever the case, you're intentional and you're able to bring yourself back.
I have never known a road to be straight.
Mm,
So for me, alignment is just wherever that mark is that you're supposed to end, whether you have to fly to get there, drive, run. Sometimes you were born on the mark, right? You just need
mm,
to be grounded enough to realize that. I think with alignment, it has nothing to do with it being straight to it. It's
yeah,
just arriving. It's
yeah,
time, it's on time, it's the right time. And it's also being able to acknowledge like oh, this is where I'm supposed to be.
mm,
Because again, I say this all the time. Like I would never wish losing my mother again, but I would know 90% of the people in my life, probably more if I didn't lose my mom at 14.
mm, yeah,
And I can't say that I want to lose those people.
yeah, yeah. It, one thing you said was arriving on time. And it just took me back because during COVID, I used to walk a lot. I used to walk a lot. And then um, when I set like my mark, it seemed like it took forever to get there
Mm,
versus out versus getting out the house and just walking, right? Because when you set your mark, now you're thinking about the time.
I gotta
Um,
beat my last time I did it, or
exactly, but transfer that into life is that like not saying that having goals aren't good or whatever the case may be, but there's something about flow, right?
mm,
That just like if you move in with the intentions, your alignment and everything is just it's really flowing.
yeah.
It's no
But
mark.
this is where you said the attraction part. So not only am I listening to you talking about you're no longer chasing, it's the attraction. Is if the alignment is right and the mark is there and you are on time, you're going to attract everything that is showing up in that space. It's, not to get like, okay, I'm not even gonna say a big word because then you're gonna be like, here you go. Let's just
Well,
let's
say
just
your big
compare it.
word.
No, it's okay.
Actually, let's start a dictionary with your big words. Move. Let's put
No,
let's
but I
say
think
your big
about
word, and then
even
I want it at the end of the
I'm
episode
done.
where it has a
No,
definition.
get it together. No, I was just thinking about just how magnets work, right? And then the whole point of a magnet is to bring a force, utilizing a force to bring things that are attracted to the magnet.
Mm,
Like
mm,
plastic cannot attract to a magnet,
mm,
right? A piece of candy cannot attract. So a magnet, as much as people don't realize how powerful that analogy is, you can't attract what is not meant to connect.
yeah, yeah, for sure,
And
for
so
sure.
for me, it's like, what am I magnifying in my life that is meant to, I mean, again, I can't even say that. Now I'm about to sound like an oxymoron.
Mm,
What am I magnifying?
mhm.
Because what is meant to be attracted to that kinetic energy, it's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And I need to get better. And I won't say people because I know everybody has their own journey. I feel like I need to get better at what is sticking because what is happening is I'm confusing plastic for being important,
Mm,
and in reality, it's not
mm,
what is magnetized. Like that's not what works.
yeah, for sure.
So
Uh,
anyway, I appreciate
Sticky,
hearing
icky,
you.
icky,
You
plastic,
here you
icky.
go. Now you gonna rap. Go ahead, rap.
No.
Nah, but I appreciate you in advance for these young people. I pray that they one day could sit back and talk about Mr. Maddox and what you did and how you influenced their lives. Because this is that magnetic attraction, right? You are
Hmm.
utilizing your frequency that was placed on you to attract them, to do and make better choices. And even if they mess up, knowing that somebody is still rooting for them. And I think that's the other thing is that we come from a culture where forgiveness is like low on the totem pole. But in reality, we all needed to be forgiven for something.
Yeah, for sure.
So, anyway, with that being
The
said,
being said,
Magneto,
don't
Mr.
Kendrick got a
Magneto,
song?
that's gonna be
Don't Kendrick got a song?
who?
But he just mentions Magneto.
Nito. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Whatever.
Well, with that being
With that being
said,
said,
why
why
be
be
you see my waves? Negative.
negative?